Pizza time.
Pizza, not only my favorite food, well, it's not the best. The best, that comes a little later. The pizza, one of the easiest food to make at home, which is why I'm doing it right now. In like the early, like mid last millennium, pizza was invented in Italy by this person, by taking scraps from like old food and just like, we're broke, we're poor, let's make a food. So they took all their old, bad, not very nice, good ingredients and they turned it into a new food. And that was just a pizza, which looks like this, or looked like this, and then they cooked it in a thing that looks like this. And because of that, it was like a peasant food, but it was also like kind of a commodity accidentally, sort of. So, because of that, the like courtship people, this person noticed that it was like people liked it. So then they went out and tried it, and then this guy made it like super special for the Queen Margarita. So this is, and they called it the Pizza Margarita, which is nothing like how we know what it is now. That one was like, it looked like this, and then the other one that we know now looks like this. See, it's kind of not the same. Anyways, it's pretty easy to make at home if you've just got a few ingredients, and because we're in the quarantine now, you should try it. If you've got an oven, great. All you need now, you don't really need it, but if you want to become like Super Mario, so you just get a pizza stone, which just looks like, it looks like this. It shouldn't be this dirty. I'm just lazy, so I don't clean mine. But it's just this, and then you heat it in the oven for an hour and a half at the maximum temperature your oven can go. Not over 900 though, but just like try to get there, because this one only goes to 500 because it's garbage. But anyways, though, you're only going to need these things to make it, so it shouldn't be that hard. Anyways, let me show you how to make a pizza. So, oh yeah! Bet you didn't see that one coming up. So first, what you're gonna need is a bowl. Just like one of these. This will be perfect. Just a big one that can hold a lot of stuff. Next is your measuring cup, which is an important step because you need to measure water and flour. Next, the most important part, because bread. Of course, next is yeast, because you're not making pancakes. Then, of course, you need a scale, because if you get some stuff wrong, the pizza can look like those biscuits. Those biscuits. And then these things for the oven stuff, because it can get hot. Pin that looks like a pinhead, like me. Basically. And then the rest of ingredients I'm too lazy to put out. Also, if you don't put oregano on your pizza, you're dead to me. The next part gets pretty boring, honestly, so I might as well just quickly show you how to do it. So I'm just gonna put everything into where it needs to go, and then I'll just throw it in this, and then that's that. So pretty much at this point, you just want to try your best to get everything into the correct proportions that were described in the recipe. And then before anything, you want to mix all of your ingredients into the bowl that are dry, and then add the wet ingredients later. And I'll show you a little bit more of what I mean by that in a second. Now that you've got all of your dry stuff mixed in, the next step is to just whisk it so that it makes your life much easier later on, so you don't have to, mix it for an hour. Okay, so now that you've got everything mixed in, don't add the liquids yet. Now what you want to do is just, once you've got all the dry products inside of the bowl, just kind of mix it all around. Just kind of get everything mixed together and like not separate, so that you don't have to put as much effort in whenever you're, kneading it. And that's something that you're going to have to end up doing anyways for a while. But this just makes it a little bit easier to kind of like not ruin it. Not that that matters in this case, but whatever, it's pizza, it's not really hard to mess up. And then just kind of add a little bit more flour, just a pinch, you know. So now that everything's added, you're pretty much good to add all the liquids, which I recommend first you add the water. So just kind of add it in the middle, because this bowl is pretty odd shaped. It'll suck in there, and then you add this, and then you kind of just let it absorb. And if it looks too wet, you can add more flour to it if you really want to. You kind of just let it start to stick together. So you kind of get it from here. Just kind of mix it, make it sort of resemble dough. Get it into like a ball form, and then kind of knead it for a while. And once you're done with the kneading part, just kind of put it back in the bowl, put like a towel over it, and then just let it sit in a warm kitchen for like an hour to 2 hours. And then after that, you're pretty much good to cook it. So let's just kind of go to that step now. So after 2.5 hours of just waiting for nothing, this should be a result. Just disease and whatever, but this is edible. I mean, not yet, but eventually, yes. I should be pretty airy because the yeast and whatever. But yes, what I recommend you do now, you just take some flour. You kind of just abuse it a little bit. Just kind of rub it on the top, get it drenched in it, and then kind of pick at the sides, and then try to get this mess out of there and onto your surface, which I'm just going to use the top of my stove because there's too much garbage on all of my kitchen, so this is basically the only place where I can do it. I don't recommend using it here because it's really annoying to clean up. So just kind of get your surface covered in flour so that it doesn't stick to it, and then just try your best to get this out of there. And it shouldn't be that hard. Just kind of get the dough out. There you go. Now that it's out, you're good. And then this, put it away to clean up later. This is what you should be left with. Pizza dough. Now's the fun part. You just kind of put it all together and make it somewhat resemble the dough that you see in like a restaurant or something. Just try your best and you'll get there eventually. But it takes a little while, so I'll kind of just breeze through that part. Try not to play with it too much, because if you overstretch the gluten, then it'll make it harder to eat later on, because it'll literally taste like a rubber band because it starts to dig. And you get the point. So now that you've got like a perfect, just go ahead and cut this down the middle and split it in 2 pieces, and then from there you can make a pizza. Attack it like this.
Greatest cross section in the history of this show.
And then there you go. Then just grab a bowl. Just take the bowl that you had it in originally and just put like some more flour into the bottom of it and just kind of make sure that it won't stick like crazy, and then just right in there. Just kind of put it aside for now, because this is one pizza. This is one pizza. These are going to be like 16-inch pizzas, enough for like 2 or 3 people. But be careful, because like don't try to make it too thin, or else it won't cook right. So just leave this one here for now, and then put this away. Wrap this with plastic wrap on top and put it in your refrigerator. Okay, now the next step is just take some flour, rub it on the sticky parts to make sure that it's all smooth, and then kind of be careful with it, and then just make it into a good ball. It's my best way of talking about it. Just make a pizza ball by just taking your hands and then going under it and then twisting. This needs more flour. Okay, and then just kind of go under in like this motion, just kind of cup and cut a little bit, and then just kind of go under, and then grab this part and then kind of get it together like this. Add it down a little bit. This is a little too wet, which is okay, so just add a little bit more flour like this, and then just rub it like this, and it should be good. Honestly, it should be fine. And then once you're at this step, you're basically at a good position to start rolling it out. Now, I don't personally recommend using a rolling pin, but as a first timer, or just like to make this easier for me later so that I can do other things today, I'm gonna not, I'm not gonna go insane by going out of my way to do it by hand, because that takes forever and it's not easy. So grab your Patrick Star, you kind of, put some flour on it, get it so it doesn't stick to the thing. What I recommend doing is starting kind of like a little bit not in the middle, and then just kind of putting it out like this. So the next step, once you've got it rolled out, is to go grab your peel. To make things easier for yourself, what I recommend is that you assemble the pizza on the peel, and I also very much recommend that you generously flour your peel so that it makes it easier to get it in and out of the oven. Acts like you've got ball bearings on the bottom, and it allows it to slide around a little bit. So once you have your pizza ready, you kind of just put it on there. It may look a little deformed once it gets on here, but yeah, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Just kind of put it back out, stretch it back out, get it looking like how you had it before. And it may not look great right now, but trust me, it's fine. It's, it's still the pizza that you're about to cook, and it'll be fine, trust me. So just kind of get it into a circle shape. It doesn't have to be exactly circle, and if you're really worried about it, just grab a knife and cut it out exactly the way that you want it if it's really bothering you. So just make sure that you don't have any thin spots, and if you do, just kind of pinch it and then just kind of, push the dough in the direction that you want it, and you should be good there. So once you've got it in a shape that you want it to look, you should be good, and then go ahead and choose your sauce. Now this is the next important spot that you should be prepared for. What I recommend is that you try to use the freshest mozzarella that you can get, or try to get stuff that is marketed as without starch in it, because that's exactly the type of thing that you want. So then the sauce, you want it to be something that's marketed as a real Italian pizza sauce. This here is the pizza sauce that I use. It's not what I've always used in the past, but it's one that I do like. Now, there's nothing wrong with this pizza sauce. It may not seem like it's exactly super made for pizza, but what I can tell you right now is that it's not a bad choice. The next step is to just open up your pizza sauce and then put it on like a spoon or something similar like this, and you know, just load it up and then place in the middle and try to get it as far away from the middle as possible. Now, try not to make your sauce layer super thick, because what it can do is it can weigh down the middle of the pizza, and that could cause problems when it's cooking. Now, what you want to do is get your mozzarella cheese out, and then try to cover as much of the sauce as you can, starting in the middle and then working your way out. So I think this is a pretty good amount of cheese on the pizza, and well, if you don't have any other toppings to add, it's time for the oven. So the next step, of course, is to put in the blazing inferno that you have already preheated to as high as you want. That's not over 900, because then it will literally chart instantly as soon as you put it in there. So once you've had this on for about an hour, and you've had the stone heating up, and it's been preheated, you can go ahead and put it inside the oven. So just open it up, try not to singe your eyebrows off, and just kind of take the peel, put it inside. I recommend starting at the end and just kind of wiggling it, and just get off just like that, and then it's basically started to cook almost instantly. And then you just kind of make sure that it's in a circle, and if it's not, well, it's okay, it's a pizza, remember, it's not perfect. So then as fast as you can, close it up, and then I would say on the cook time, I recommend going for like 10 minutes, 10-12 minutes for this type of pizza. Will be just fine. And
I should probably note, I meant 10 minutes for like a 500-degree garbage oven like mine. If yours goes way over that, or even just a little bit over that, I would say cook it for at least, like at the most, 6 minutes. 'Cause 10 is kind of a lot, and you'll see what I mean by that in a second.
yeah. So now you should be able to see it in there. It's cooking just like how it would in any other type of oven. But I think it's cooking pretty good now. And within a couple minutes, it should be ready to eat. And I guess I'll show you the result when that's up. And it should taste like food instead of, well, not food. So, you're welcome. So now, I've taught you how to make pizza. You're welcome. Even though you probably didn't know you needed to learn how to do that. You don't really need to, but instead of paying the maybe not even $10 to call to your local pizza place, and in 30 minutes you could get a delicious pizza that you could probably share with 3 people, instead of spending 4.5 hours of your day making something that maybe 2 people will eat in your house that might not taste very good at all. Anyways, you're welcome for this information that you probably didn't know anything about, and with a pizza recipe I stole off of a YouTube video that I watched because I was curious in how pizza worked. You're welcome for nothing. I mean, for this absolutely necessary information that I'm sure you're very thankful for. That anyways, it's about almost done, and when it is, I'll show you the end result, and hopefully yours came out as good as mine, probably will. Now it's time to take the pizza out once it's been cooking and it's starting to get a little dark on top. So hopefully this doesn't come out disgusting. Stuck to the thing. Well, here it is. It came out okay. What a surprise. That's done. I recommend turning off the oven as fast as you possibly can so that it doesn't kill you. So the pizza should come out looking somewhat like a pizza. So there you go. There's that. So now that you've gotten the pizza that hopefully you wanted, and if not, there's always Domino's. Go ahead, pop in your favorite Robert De Niro movie or anything about Italy ever. It could be that or just this or genuinely either of these. But just anything from this country, go ahead and watch it. And then enjoy a fine glass of, well, I don't know if you can drink alcohol, just something that resembles wine or anything else Italian, and you're good to go. Some of you may wonder if I'm going to do a taste test. It's a good question. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my demonstration of how to make the greatest pizza in the world.